So yeah, earlier this week, man, I was on. I posted a message on Twitter and Facebook, just kind of, just checking with people to see if there was anything they wanted us to talk about, and we got some interesting responses, And this is the one that, I proposed to the guys because it was one that kind of stuck out to me, and it came from Michael, and he sent it to me on Facebook, and he's saying that he'll be interested in seeing a discussion on what is required to move mainstream hip hop beyond the proliferation of drugs, sex, and violence. But why is this acceptable in terms of radio and other genres are so overtly and consistently sending such negative messages and images to their audience? So it kind of tie back in with our discussion, a few weeks ago on hip hop and hip hop's responsibility, and how typically the music and the genre is blamed for a lot of things that go on, in the world, unfortunately. So, any thoughts on that? What do you guys think? What will it take to move mainstream beyond the violent topics that is typically covered?
Dead in hip hop conversations. Dead in hip hop conversations. Here with Night Wonder. What's good, homie? Peace to the A. Dead in hip hop.
I guess you can probably say, corporate. I'm gonna probably say corporate, but then I guess the fan base. I guess you want to say if fans can kind of start or not really pushing that type of music out and push, I guess, for a different type of content, maybe you could have that. Maybe that could be the starting point, at least. I guess you can say. What you think?
I say the damn program directors at these radio stations. That's what I say, because not every but not every song that every artist creates has these things, but the ones that has these things are the ones that get put on the radio.
The ones that people ask for. That's why I'm saying you can't blame the program directors. The people are asking for these songs. This is something that, society on a mainstream level are drawn to.
This is the one time I will agree with B with the whole corporate thing. It really starts there. It starts with corporate and it starts with the artists. They need to take accountability for what they're putting out. And, the thing about this, man, there's a huge difference between glorifying violence and just reporting about it. Back in the day, like we've always said, they were reporting on it. This shit was happening and no one knew. At this point in time, in 2013, there's no need for it anymore. We already know. Everybody knows what's going on. Not detailed, but we know that there's fucked up shit going on. So we don't need all these rappers to continuously talk about it. So to me, when a rapper comes out nowadays and they're like, oh, I make gangster rap because, I'm a hood reporter, I immediately say you're full of shit. Because there's no need for you to be a hood reporter now, because now we really have hood reportors.
Because it's so out there now.
It's out there, right?
YouTube and everything. You see it all the time with news and everything. So yeah, you have a good point.
And enough rappers have talked about it already.
Yep.
We don't need you to do this again. We don't need you to do this. So it starts with them. If corporate would stop pushing it and rappers would stop making it, it's that simple.
Do you see that happening now? It seems like we're kind of getting away from that.
No, because look, no. Because look,
says Molly.
Right? Because Molly, they had a news special.
Molly, I'm sweating. Woo!
They had a news article special about that on Channel 2 News the other day. They had a whole special about kids taking Molly drugs.
Because they do it. Whatever their favorite rapper tells them to do.
Pop a Molly.
Yep.
And start sweating. I want to pop a Molly. Can I pop 2 or 3 more? 4 more?
So how
many you want, B? I'm just saying, you sounding like LeBron James now. You want 4, 5, 6?
You never know what the kids might be saying, man. Like, yo, man, I'm gonna pop 1. Yo, man, how is it if I pop 2 of these bitches in here? Nigga, pop 2. You know how you are.
You want to one up your friend.
Yeah, you know how teenagers be, man. When they be talking and shit, they want to pop 2 or 3 Mollies, nigga. Go in the club and try to do every day.
I honestly think that, like drugs. I think hip hop right now is definitely talking excessively about it. Like every song, there's a Molly reference. Every.
There's no difference than a weed reference that we grew up. At least I know I did. We had 2 albums dedicated to that shit. It's no difference. They just changed the drug.
Right. But we're not I'm not a rapper, but rappers aren't the first ones to talk about drugs. They're not the first ones to talk about violence, nor are they the first ones to talk about sex. The only difference is we scream it the loudest. You know, you pick up an album, a Motley Crue album, there might be 1 or 2 songs on there. You pick up a hip hop album, damn near every fucking song on there is either violence, sex, or drugs. It's one of those 3 things.
On every song.
On every song.
And it's slightly different on every song, but it's in every song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
If I'm an artist and I'm up and coming, and you know I'm not one of those artists that, you know, and we know they're out there. I'm not one of those artists that care about the culture like that. I just want to get put on. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go work at a fucking 9-to-5 fucking job. You know, I see these motherfuckers over here rapping about this, that, and other. Oh shit, I can do that shit too. Give me a hot beat and let me write about the shit that people fucking with. If somebody come to me and say, yo, I'm gonna give you X amount of dollars to do that shit, fuck, yeah, I do it. Why? Because that's what people want.
Best thing, why not the corporate say something like, yo, man?
No, because that's what they're pushing.
Because their only directive is make money.
Right.
That's all they care about is a bottom line.
So then it goes to the consumer and the people, the fans. They need to say, hey,
It's over a hot beat.
That's when people are sheeple, man. People are sheeple.
Yeah.
They're not
I mean,
gonna. They're
that's
not
true. I'm just
gonna.
saying, you're right.
No one wants to think for themselves nowadays. They want you to do it for them. It's too much work for me to fucking figure out life. I want you to tell me how life works.
Yep.
They're not gonna say, oh, well, you know, you're talking too much about violence. They're not.
No.
And the thing about, again, it's like when you think about the hood, it's like nobody in the hood is gonna stop doing Molly because somebody made a song about how bad it is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's always the opposite way. It's like you
rebel.
Right, because you want to rebel. You want to do all the fun shit. It's not fun to be drug free. It's just not. Sorry to all the straight edge kids, but it's not.
Yeah.
You want to go out and get fucked up. That's what kids want to do nowadays, and it makes it that much better when you have your favorite rapper telling you, "Hey man, it's cool to get fucked up." Woo! Over a hot beat.
Like Juicy J. Like, I think Juicy J is like probably one of the most right now that he's talking about. Oh, but he's always been like that. So if you like 3-6, Juicy's always been on lean, always been on pills, always been on weed. Sir, like he's always been on it. So. And Juicy J primarily raps for the club scene, fucking bitches, doing this, getting bread. So it's like, if that's what I'm listening to and that's my influence, well shit, you know what, I'm gonna go to the strip club tonight. You know what, let's pop a molly. You know what, roll this blunt up. Oh, what you got? You got this? You got lean? Oh, you got it for free? All right, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because you're influenced by the music and you're like, well, damn, if this nigga's over here having all this good fun time with it, he ain't dead. And we all know Juicy J goes in hard. Like, Juicy J ain't no punk when it comes to the drugs now. He goes in from when he wakes up to damn near he go to sleep, if he even goes to sleep. Well, he says that,
Right.
but I'm just saying.
A lot of these dudes don't really do all that shit that they say they do. I'm not saying Juicy J definitely doesn't, but I'm saying it's popular to say you do. I mean, you put the fucking Breakfast Club on, Charlamagne all day. I'm doing Molly. I'm taking Molly. Anybody want to do Molly? You ain't doing Molly that much, dude. Shut the fuck up. You're not. Like, chill out with all that shit. You're just trying to sound cool. Because that's the cool thing to do now. Back in, you know, like he said, it used to be, I'm smoking 3-4 blunts in the morning. Now it's, I'm waking up taking 3 or 4 Mollies. It's like, fucking grow up, man. Get some identity with yourself. Like, what is going on with y'all?
Yeah, like we were talking about, you know, like you be smoking all this weed. I'm like, look, man, there's no way that you can literally function doing that all day, every day. Like,
but that's what's popular. That's what's popular, and that's what sells your music. Unfortunately, people cannot separate music from people. You know, you look at somebody's weed album, they need to act like they should be making a weed album. So if Wiz walked around all day talking about, I don't really smoke weed, but I make weed albums, he'd be a flop.
Yep. Because Dr. Dre, isn't he on record as saying he doesn't smoke weed?
Chronic,
yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I don't smoke weed or sex. Cousin don't
Right, but
the brain
you look at
damage,
his whole
brain
album,
damage on the mic, don't man.
and what he's talking about is this shit's all about. But the point is, you know, he's rapping about something that he doesn't do, but yet he's.
But he might have changed his mind. Back then he probably did, but back then it was cool to tell people not to do drugs. Because think about when that was. Wasn't that during the whole war on drugs thing?
Yeah.
You're trying to save people's lives. So you're supposed to be like, don't do drugs. Nowadays, you can't.
Commercials. This is your brain.
Yeah.
This is your brain.
Yeah.
You're right. Yep.
Any questions?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I remember that shit.
Damn.
But you would think though that after witnessing what happened to Pimp C, you know, with his death, after hearing about what happened with Lil Wayne when he was on that shit, and his ass had to go to the
The
hospital.
way he's asthma acting, he probably still is on that shit.
He's probably on something.
He's
like
he's the new
no,
doctor.
he had to go to the hospital for that, for drinking all that perp shit.
People still do it. Mac Miller still talks about it.
But
Here's the thing, man. Like all of these guys, that like we said, we don't know how extensively they're going in like that. Right. But we know, like I know, I've seen Juicy do. Well, not me physically see him right here, but there's interviews. He has a cup. Like we know Lil Wayne does it. Like look at how he speaks right now. You can tell he does it. He's not dead. You see what I'm saying?
he went to the hospital, Ralph.
He went to the hospital, but you don't have to OD like that either. Not everybody's ODing like that either, though.
There are such things, even though people don't like to think that, there are such things as responsible drug users. There's drug users and there's drug abusers. There's people that, that can just go out and have a drink or two and be good. Like, you could probably go out and have a drink or 2 drinks and stop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not
Can you do that?
I'm like, yeah, I can just have.
I don't do that.
Yeah, I know you.
If I go out, I'm not stopping until I'm feeling like this.
Why, Mike?
Because that's just how I roll. That's just how I roll.
Is that hip hop's fault?
No, that's his fault. My fault. Because I didn't pick that up from anybody. I picked that up just because I like the way being drunk feels. I don't like it the next morning, but I like it then.
So what about sets? So what about sets? There were 3 parts. We talked about drugs. We got sets, and then there's violence. Sets is scattered all over hip hop.
I think in hip hop more. I think sex is throughout every genre of music, every single genre. But I think in hip hop, what we're doing right now is we're promoting strippers.
But is it in the same level as hip hop though? Is it as much as you see it in hip hop?
It's not as graphic.
So you think it's a graphic issue?
I think it's a graphic issue, and I think that it's definitely an issue. Just like Raphael said, we're promoting strippers, and I think the issue with that's different than the issue with like drugs and shit. Is when you're promoting strippers, people see that, especially kids, they see that and they instantly want to relate. So then they relate the girl at school to a stripper. Oh, I know you do shit like that. I know you do something, something strange for a piece of change.
Right.
I know I can fuck this bitch because Nelly told me that all bitches is hoes.
And you can slide a credit card
I can slide a credit card up a girl's ass. Now, did I have an issue with that video per se? It's an adult video. It should be shown to adults. But at the end of the day, once again, Nelly, you have to take responsibility and accountability. You know this is going to be on YouTube, and all you have to do is click a button saying that you're 18 and you can watch it.
Well, YouTube wasn't big around that time, and they used to come on like BET Uncut at like midnight.
Uncut, real late.
So he was responsible with it.
You
never saw like on a top. You didn't see it on 4 p.m. You didn't see that shit at 4 p.m. during the day.
You heard you knew about it from word of mouth.
But
like
still, people are going to see it.
Who went to bed at 11 or 12 as a kid, right? And
I used to watch them.
Well, teenager, whatever. Like
You don't. You stay up.
right, you will stay up. You're going to watch BET Uncut because you know that they're gonna have some raw shit on there.
Right.
And your parents probably are asleep.
Right.
But that's not the only music that dude made, though.
No, I understand it, but we're talking about the video.
The sex selling though.
But that video was detrimental. Like, you made a video, flat out, even if the chicks did agree to it, you made a video flat out showing women as less than nothing. Period. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, there could be 5 guys agreeing to make a movie that depicts them as fucking Sambos and a bunch of white dudes running around chasing them with fucking burning crosses. I don't give a fuck if they agree to that shit. That shit better not be playing on my fucking television. Point blank, period. Nelly should have took responsibility for that shit. You made a fucked up video. It influenced people to think about women a certain way. Now, I can't say that it's all Nelly's fault because that shit was around before Nelly, of course.
Luke.
But Nelly didn't help.
Because that was
Either
the
did
thing.
Luke.
Luke, yeah. I just said Luke. And 2 Live Crew days.
You know what? You know why personally I don't have an issue with it is because at the end of the day, like in my household, I don't have all them butt naked chicks running around. But if I want to go see them butt naked chicks, it happens. It's at the strip club. So it's there, and I agree. A 12-year-old, 13, 14-year-old, they can't get into the strip club.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 25-year-old.
They can watch BET.
They can watch BET and they'll relate that shit to another woman.
streaming porn.
I can. They
But I'm saying, okay, so is it that different from a 14-year-old grabbing a Playboy magazine, a Hustler magazine?
It's slightly a little bit different. I'll tell you why. Because in a responsible household, they have a tendency to put that stuff up and hiding it away. Maybe.
And what do kids do?
No,
You
wait.
exactly what your daddy's porn was.
Everybody. But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they put it up out of the way. What BET has in a private area, whether you go looking for it or not, that's irrelevant. It's private. It's hidden away. BET is a public forum that anybody has access to at any given time.
The
you can just turn
was
off
a public forum, but your daddy was saying, "Don't go in that drum, but whoop your ass." It's the same thing.
They lock the shit up, or they put it under the mattress. Everybody know they're gonna look under the mattress.
Like kids getting into the alcohol stash. You see what I'm saying? That's not made for you. But because you are a kid, you're curious, and you hear everything that everybody else is talking about, you're gonna do it. You're just going to do it. So that's the main reason why I don't have an issue with an artist putting out women like that, because women do that anyway, and it's their decision.
With artists degrading women, is that what you're saying?
And you know, at the end of the day, people are human, and that woman that wanted to be in that video, she wanted to be in that video. She said yes. So therefore, she is going to do whatever they need her to do. She just could say no and not do it.
She did, but she's not agreeing for every woman in the world, man. And that's the problem. Okay. Is she says yes, and then other people relate her yes to everybody else, and they say, well, she says yes, you should say yes too.
Raphael's okay with it.
Right.
But you know, it's just like Lupe's song "Bitch Bad." You know what I'm saying? Where he depicts like a little boy growing up.
He put his head down and said shit.
Stupid.
But you know, it's like a little boy depicting, you know, like his mom saying, "I'm a bad bitch," and now he every woman's a bitch to him. You see what I'm saying? So I understand that, but again, it's up to the parents to be like, look, she's a video model that agreed to either do this or that. These are strippers. This is their profession. This is what they do. Every woman is not the same.
Who's having those conversations, Ralph? Who's having those conversations? Do you know what happened after that video went live? There was the public backlash from the adults, and do you know what the kids were doing? When that shit came on in the club, they were doing the fucking tip drill video because that's what they saw. Because it was on a public television station late at night that they could see because they're staying up later than their parents.
I'm just saying, like, you know, it just seems like these rappers that's where their fancy is right now. So if that's what yeah, I go to strip clubs.
So
I'll tell you why it's okay, because it's reality. People go to strip.
Nelly's tip drill is reality.
In some people's lives, yeah.
But not for everybody though, bro. That's the problem. It's like people.
But it's their reality.
But they put that reality on everybody else.
But tip drill wasn't though, and I think that's the point that Ra was trying to make. Ra was trying to make the fact that it wasn't put out there. It wasn't on 106 and Park top 10. I know what he's doing.
No, I'm not. I'm glad.
Yeah, but it wasn't on 106 and 10. It was 106 and Park. It wasn't in the top 10. It wasn't none of that. It was like, yo, I'm gonna make this side project because my reality is I have all this bread. So when I throw it, all these bitches just want to just do whatever they want to do. So it is what it is. This is reality.
Don't take your shit back.
So you go to the strip club, like I go to the strip club, I spend dough. Like you don't, but I do.
So now you're back to your original thing, which is saying that it's not okay, or is okay to glorify.
It is okay.
So it is okay.
So it is okay to glorify.
I'm going back to what I originally said.
It is okay.
It's okay.
Still lies in the fact of yes, that's your reality, but once again, you have to man up and take accountability. If I'm putting this out there, understand that not only responsible adults are going to see it. A lot of underage people are going to see that, and they're going to take your reality and they're going to want that for themselves. And if they don't have the bread and all this other shit,
Go to a strip.
what are they? Nah, bump that. They're gonna go to a house party and expect people's daughters to act like that. And what happens when they don't? And what happens when they don't?
In my experience at house parties, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go try to holla at a chick. 9 out of 10 guys just trying to beat that night. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't.
But back to what your question was, if I go to a house party, would I just throw a bunch of ones up in the air? I'll go on record to be willing to say that yes, they would, and why? Because they're glorifying strippers, which you are okay with, because all they're talking about is the ones blah 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 blah. You know,
strip club.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
but it's a house.
Right, whoa. So wait, hold on.
Their own reality.
So you, whoa.
What you mean? They can't. They're kids.
Right.
They're 17 years old. They can't get into
I'm
a strip
gonna make
club.
it rain.
They
I'm
make
gonna
that
make it
house a
rain
strip
house.
club because they think that all women should act like this.
And
this should not be new to you.
Right, these motherfuckers. These
Really?
these kids.
That's the first time you've ever heard this.
No. I disagree because I had younger brothers and they've gone and
Because your mom wouldn't allow
No, wait, whoa.
Your mom allowed your brothers to walk up into a house party and just start trying to rape chicks.
You grew up, you know what I'm saying, in white suburbia or whatever.
I did not
right?
grow up in white
Yeah.
suburbia.
I never told you that.
Well, you say you went
When
to
the
all
fuck
white
did
high school?
I didn't go to an all white high
Or
school.
you
I went
always-
to a high school that had white people in it. Y'all didn't. Or at least Ken says he didn't.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily.
Right, that's what I'm saying. My school was about 50-50.
Okay, my brother's school, primarily white. I know that they go to a whole bunch of house parties. I know they do a whole bunch of shit that my mom don't know of because I'm their brother. I know what they do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, she don't know the particulars,
I'm just
but
playing.
you know they grown men now, so they do what the fuck they want to do. But I know what happens at those house parties because I've been told firsthand, firsthand.
Right.
And they do a lot of crazy shit, but they don't throw dollars. Do they?
You said it was a white area though. Didn't you say that?
But even outside of that, why would they not, one, go in there and throw up dollars at these chicks? Two, why would they not go up in there and treat a woman like a whore? Think about it. Why would they not do that?
All right, number one, because the kids at the age group that you're talking about don't have dollars. That's number one.
17-year-olds don't have dollars.
But they don't have strip club like
just throw away. Nah, I agree.
they don't have money like that.
Okay, so bump
So,
that.
some of them do.
Why would they not treat the
Chicks like whores. But I'm talking about your brothers in specific. Why would they not treat the chicks at the house parties like whores?
All I'm saying is I've come at chicks like that before, and I know they have too. Because
Take you and your brothers out of it.
what do you mean? But that's my frame of reference.
No, I want him to leave him and his brothers in it because I don't think he wants to actually admit that and he knows where I'm going with this.
No,
The reason you don't act like that and the reason your brothers don't act like that is because of upbringing.
And
that's why I said at the very beginning, your mom wouldn't allow shit like that.
And I agree to a certain degree, but at the same time, if there's a chick coming in and she's acting like a whore or
That's the difference, Rob. That's the difference. You can look at her and you can say, you know what? First of all, what's acting like a whore, right? That's going up, rubbing her titties on dudes, right? Grabbing on their dick, that kind of shit. Doing stereotypical whore shit, right? That's what's acting like a whore to you. But you know what? Some of these kids, they think you simply showing up with a short skirt and your breasts being a little bit exposed, they take that as you are acting like a whore.
Because hip hop is they showing that. That's what they showing
Right.
from females. So when they see a girl on the big boy, what's that shit? I like the way you move. That girl had a bikini top on and shit, walking on that nigga. When they see chicks half dressing with their ass cheeks out, they gonna be like, well, shit, nigga, she wanna fuck. Like,
Right.
Sex and scum and shit and crime was there way before hip hop. So hip hop cannot be blamed for the sex, but hip hop can be blamed for exaggerating it and glorifying it. That's what I'm saying.